So now, has the impeachment movement lost its steam? Well, joining me now for your moment of Maxine is Congresswoman Maxine Waters of California. And Congresswoman, first of all, good morning.
Good morning. Good to be with you, Joy.
Thank you so much. Well, Congresswoman, you have been calling for Donald Trump's impeachment since before it was a thing, before it was maybe we won't call it a fad, but a thing that was being done by other Democrats in the House of Representatives. The BuzzFeed stories seem to have accelerated that move in that direction. Do you feel that now the special counsel's refutation of some part of the story has cooled that down?
Not so much. I think when we take a look at what Mueller said, he didn't say, for example, it's an absolute lie, that it is absolutely not true. The way he framed it, it made it sound as if there were some problems with the way that BuzzFeed did it, but it did not absolutely close out the possibility that what BuzzFeed is saying has a lot of truth to it. So we've got to wait until it unfolds. I'm so pleased that people are now having the courage to at least say the word impeachment. As you have said, I've talked about it for a long time. I think it's inevitable. Everything that I've seen about this president, whether it was what I have seen with collusion or with obstruction of justice, with his lies, with so many things that he's done, I certainly think that he qualifies for impeachment. And if it takes him a little bit longer, if they're all waiting on Mueller to give them permission, okay, that's fine. But the fact of the matter is, this president should be impeached.
You know, a lot of people, I think, are now starting to question that last part of what you said, the fact that Democrats are waiting on Mueller in order to have the sort of shield of Mueller's report to proceed. Yoni Applebaum read a much-trafficked, much-read story, a well-written piece in The Atlantic. And I'll read you just a little piece of it. It says here,
yes,
Trump's bipartisan critics are not merely arguing that he has lied or dishonored the presidency. The most serious allegations against him ultimately rest on the charge that he is attacking the bedrock of American democracy. And yet, what you've heard from leadership is what you generally have heard from Steny Hoyer, who is the #2 in the House. Let's listen. This is both before and after the BuzzFeed story.
I think that impeachment talks right now are distraction. We'll have to see what the Mueller report says. Okay. Nancy and I have both said that.
Sir, what's your reaction to this report that the president may have asked Michael Cohen to lie to Congress? Does that change the calculus on the impeachment question?
I don't want to get into that right now.
Congresswoman, if the bigger point is what Donald Trump is doing to the country, to the fiber of the country, and if there are other things, as you said, the emoluments clause, other things that you've talked about on this show for over a year now, are the reason why an impeachment inquiry should be opened, why are so many of your colleagues hinging everything on Mueller's report?
Well, Joy, I don't know for sure, but there are several things. We have the consultants and the pundits and all of them saying, don't talk about impeachment. That will only embolden and strengthen his supporters. His supporters are going to be there for him no matter what. We know what percentage that is. And so waiting for Mueller to come and give permission based on his report to do this is not something that I agree with. But if the leadership and others have decided that's what they want to do, I guess that's what they're going to do. But I have to tell you, I believe in the final analysis, they can only come to that conclusion. This Atlantic Journal report is absolutely correct. The Russians have hacked into the Democratic National Committee. They have undermined our election systems. They have done everything to basically undermine our democracy. And this president disregards our Constitution. Whatever his relationship is with Putin, he will not criticize him. As a matter of fact, he absolutely defends him. He has ignored all of the advice that's been given to him. Don't call him. Don't congratulate him when he wins an election. And many people think that the president certainly knows what he's doing, and they have implied that he's working with Putin for whatever reasons. Others are saying unwillingly, unwittingly, he is now compromised. I don't know what the case is, but I know this. This president is not good for this country or this democracy. He's using the power of the presidency for himself and for whatever relationships he's developing with Russia. Many people think it has to do with money, with development. Money laundering may be involved in this, but it's enough there. Enough has unfolded about this president, that he and Manafort and Flynn and the rest of them are willing to align themselves with the enemy in order to enhance their ability literally to make money. That's what it's all about.
And before we lose our time with you, Congresswoman, I want to just at least give you a chance to weigh in on Donald Trump's, what he's calling a compromise offer on immigration, in which he would essentially give back the DACA and TPS he took away in exchange for getting his border wall. What do you think? Or at least getting some money for it?
Well, let me just say this. That so-called offer is not a good offer. As a matter of fact, the courts have already rendered a decision to protect DACA, and he's not changed the amount of money that he's asking for. He wants $5.7 billion, and of course, we're resisting that because we believe that the borders should be secured. We believe that there's technology and other kinds of things that can be done, increasing the judges who are dealing with, those people who are applying to get into the United States. We think that, supporting the children better and getting them better care, all of that, we're willing to support. We believe in border security. We believe that we need comprehensive immigration reform, not some phony fake wall that this president promised in an election without even having the information, the data, the analyzing to support that. And we have to be tough. We have to say to all of those out there who are suffering, we really are fighting hard to get this government open. We're so saddened. We're so sorry that people are suffering. There are efforts that are being made. Seek out some of the efforts that are being made by PayPal and others to help federal employees. We're going to do everything that we can to support you and to get this government open. And this president must be impeached.
Thank you, Congressman Maxine Waters, Chair of the Financial Services Committee in the House. Thank you very much. Really
You're welcome.
appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. And coming up,